Everything in a restaurant needs to be managed as far as costs are concerned, and even though it might be a small aspect, it is a big aspect in relation to costs and cost management in the overall scheme of running a restaurant and managing it. So you need to keep your costs low when you're creating a cocktail, and also time-wise, so time becomes a factor. You don't want to make cocktails that take 10 minutes to prepare because you've also spent money not only in the spirit side of things but in the staffing costs, which can be used to service customers in another way. So it's very important as far as your margins, so you get bigger margin, both in the spirit side of things, the garnish side of things, so you always got to look at the fruits that are going to be used with it, and also the staffing aspect of it. My beverage manager, he looks at the cocktails on a monthly basis or weekly basis depending on when we change them. We do specials as well. I also come up with agreements or organise agreements with suppliers. So when you refer to house pours, so a lot of the basic spirits, your suppliers will give you discounts as long as they're obviously visible and you're using them. So the more you're using them, your suppliers will jump on board because it's a win-win situation. You're going to be moving raw for them, they'll give you a better price on it, so you're saving money. The first cocktail is Kpi Oscar. We've chosen that because generally a lot of people like vodka and lime and sugar. So it's 2 shots of vodka. A General House vodka will run you, around about $30 a bottle, and that's a 700ml bottle, which gives you about 23 pours or 23 shots, which per shot it's about $1.30. 2 shots is $2.60 per pour. Half a lime goes into a Kpi Oscar. Limes, again, with produce it varies. Looking at about $1 per lime, give or take. So half is 50 cents. Sugar, we're looking at about 5 cents in sugar. So 2.60, 3.15 all up for Kpi Oscar. Not including ice, because I can't really put a value on ice and time. Next cocktail we do is an old fashioned. So generally for the Australian public and their palate, bourbon is a big seller. So we do an old fashioned. Again, it's really easy to make, and it's basically bourbon with Angostura bitters. So again, 2 shots of bourbon. Pricing for your house spirits like your vodkas, your gins, your bourbon, they're always going to be around the $30 mark. So everything's $1.30 pretty much, give or take, depending on what sort of deals and specials you can find. So 2 shots again is $2.60. With the Angostura bitters, looking at about $17 per bottle, and you only need 3 dashes of the Angostura bitters. Really hard to calculate how much that is, but I wouldn't imagine it more than 5 cents, 10 cents. That is like a blowout, so let's say 5 cents, $2.65, and then sugar is another 5 cents. So you're looking at about $2.70 for the cost of an old fashioned. The next cocktail we do is referred to worldwide as a perfect martini. The difference is, so you can do this with gin or vodka, but we use a gin because we've taken the Kpi Oscar and the bourbon, and now we're using a gin aspect, which a lot of people like as well. And we mix it with vermouth, which is a super cheap bottle. You buy vermouth for about $13 to $14 for a litre. So things like Cinzano vermouth or Martini vermouth are the easiest to find. And for the martini, the perfect martini, it's 1 shot of gin, so you're looking at $1.30. And then the vermouths, both the red and the extra dry, it works at, you only need half a shot of each, and that's 15 cents. So you're looking at $1.60 for this particular cocktail. Serve it in a martini glass and it looks much more expensive than that. Those cocktails are very popular based on, some people, you've got the 3 different types of spirits, from vodka, gin and bourbon. Bourbon being the most popular for male, so Australian males, and vodka, the females do like vodka, especially when you mix it with lime and a Kpi Oscar, they do like that. You always need your safe cocktails on the list, the ones that will move fairly easily. Then you can become a little bit more eccentric with your list and use different spirits, harder to find, different flavours.